Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Shut Door, or Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 5 of Direwolf20's 1.18 pack. And today, you can see we have built, I've built a building off camera. And yeah, so this building is going to be kind of our technology building for a little bit. I will probably have to expand it. We do have elevators and stuff in this pack, so, that'll be a thing. But I wanted to have a building so we don't have to just throw everything in, random spots outside or anything. So we have a building. There is no door to it. I'm going to try to keep the area lit up as much as possible, which will take time. And so off camera, I've been, making all these blocks. We got 64 and 36 blocks of copper, a whole bunch of stuff: silver, zinc, lead, uranium, tin, aluminum, osmium, nickel, and iron. Actually has been broken down and already put in the base because I've been using it. But I think the first thing I want to get into is a mod called at FTB Contraptions. Okay. So, Industrial Contraptions. Alrighty, so what do we do for this mod? Well, honestly, I've got no idea, because this is kind of like an industrial IC2. So I think what we really need to look into for this mod is kind of the machines, right? So this isn't like your normal mod because it doesn't use RF or FE. This is using its own power system, I believe called ZAPS or something like that. It's that electricity bolt slash T. So bolt slash T. I'm just going to call it ZAPS because that sounds like fun. But we have quite a few things in here: fluid cells, different types of wire, silicone even, which is pretty interesting. Machine blocks, advanced machine blocks, iron furnaces, different types of cables: low voltage, medium voltage, high voltage, I don't even know. Ender voltage, maybe? Extreme voltage. IV, I don't know what that one is. And then a burnt cable. I think one of the cool things that this mod adds is actually something from Buildcraft. It kind of takes the idea from Buildcraft and it makes a quarry, or quarry, whatever you want to call it. But this requires advanced alloy. Advanced alloy is, a whole bunch of other stuff. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us. But the biggest thing is right now is we need a way to make that kind of stuff, right? So there is no real way to get dust until we either get a pulverizer, or we get a crusher, or we get a macerator, whole bunch of different options. But we need to get those first, right? So let's look into this. Also, we do have armor, which is like carbon plates, and carbon fiber mesh, which is carbon fibers, which is coal dust. So yeah, there's a lot to get into, and all that fancy jazz. Also off camera, I have went ahead and made, most of this stuff into oak gold chests from Sophisticated Storage, just for now. Let's clear out this inventory. I'm just going to throw a lot of this stuff in here for right now. Okay, and we'll throw that in there, and these resonating crystals up there. Okay, perfect. So now we'll get down to business here. So first things first, let's look at what we need, right? So I'm thinking like a macerator, I believe is what it's still called, or will be called. I will spell it wrong, probably, so. Okay, macerator, right here. So it is a electric circuit, which is a low voltage cable, which is rubber, and we'll need to find out how to get rubber. Okay, it looks like we could use slime balls. We could also do rubber this way. Is there nothing we can do with those rubber trees? So separating. Okay, so you'd need a latex from the tree, which is like the saplings. Okay, so if we had like a centrifuge, we'd be able to do that, but of course we don't. I have a tree tap. Is this something we can look at? I'm not sure. Hold on, let's look at my trees real quick. I'm pretty sure it's like spelled something differently, right? Meyer trees. Okay. So I'd assume we need like a wooden bucket. Let's see. So let's grab this, and let's grab some of this. We should be able to make a wooden bucket with this. And then the tree tap, which is ingot or nuggets. Okay. Let's go see how this works. First, let's sleep. Alright, so I have no idea what I'm actually doing. But I'm going to right-click with this, right-click with a bucket. And it looks like it's doing stuff. Oh, so right-clicking will actually give us information. Okay. Alright, so I'm assuming we can make more of these. And maybe put them on the same tree or put them on, a different tree, which I think there's one right there. So let's go grab a couple more of these. I think the centrifuge is probably going to be our best bet, just so we can actually get this stuff going quicker. And I don't think the my trees are too hard to grow. I think there's kind of like normal oak trees kind of thing. So let's see. So let's grab this, grab some iron, and some wood. And let's make a few more oak bucket or oak bowl things, whatever they're called. Wooden buckets, that's what they're called. Okay, and they do not stack, which is fine. Okay, let's go for a tree tap. This is pretty interesting. I remember the original tree tap from IC2, and that was always something that was pretty interesting because it was just like a little tool that you could always just click on a tree on a rubber spot, and it would basically always give it to you. But this is like kind of more of an involved process to actually get rubber, which is kind of interesting. I think this should be something that's kind of like default for IC2 back in the day. This is awesome. It's different. It takes more time to get into IC2. Okay, can we do this? Okay. So yeah, we can. It looks like we can do this. That is fine. So we can actually probably throw another one here. This tree's in a really weird placement, by the way. Okay, so we could do something like this. I don't know what happens after it gets done. Maybe we just pick up latex. Okay, and then we can come over to this tree over here. And you guess you just have to kind of like stand in front of it, yeah. So that works. Once we get a centrifuge, we could probably grow these trees, cut them down with, shears and stuff. Like actually properly shear the trees, cut the logs down, all of that. Okay, so where are we at? All right, so this is going to take a while. Let's see. What else can we do real quick? So for low voltage cable, let's bookmark this by pressing A on it. So of course we could do copper wire, which if we had an extruder, we could get copper wire from copper plates. Copper plates can come from tinkers as well, if you had a copper or a plate cast. Okay. And I don't have any of this, by the way. Like, I don't have any slime balls whatsoever. That's why I'm not doing that method, because I don't have those. Oh, okay, so this stuff just pops off. So I have no way to harvest this until I'm standing near it. So it just drops into the environment. Okay. And then latex can be used just in a furnace. Alright. Oh, hold on. So what is the recipe for a centrifuge? Because I think this might be our first option. Of course, we'll need like a generator, but we'll see here. So let's just watch this. So I'm assuming once it hits 1,000 is when it drops. And I'm also assuming that you could probably take the leaves off of this and just be fine. Okay, yeah, so it just drops. I really didn't mean to right click on that, but yeah, it just dropped. Well, we might need a little bit less, but I'm pretty sure since we want to make a centrifuge that requires 6 LV cable, yeah, so we'll need 6 rubber. Alright, so let me get the 6 rubber and I'll be right back. Okay, I was actually wrong. Right clicking is what results in that. But I'm not sure how that first one came off because I did not right click on that when it was full. But yeah, so I think we're pretty good on all of that. So yeah, I just wanted to come back and clarify that I was wrong. I am kind of curious if this will, if we could actually cover this entire log, like from top to bottom with these tree taps and wooden buckets. Did get the rubber that we need, and once we get a centrifuge, we will be able to make this much more efficient, which I think is my first bit of business. So machine block, oop, I did not mean to do that. Machine block is our next thing. So we'll need industrial grade metal, which is just iron in a furnace. Of course, if we get to a compressor, it'll be easier. You could also throw it into basically any furnace. Oh, and blasting. I didn't even realize it was a blasting recipe. Okay, so we can throw about a stack of iron into the furnace and call it a day, basically. So let's go grab a stack of iron. Let's start making this industrial metal. Okay, so let's just divide this up here to 16, 16, and 16. All right, so I gotta mention something here that's a bit odd. Okay, so you know how the coal chunks mod is basically coal just a little bit nullified? Well, don't use it on latex because latex actually has a longer smelting time than everything else. So it takes 15 seconds for this. So you basically might as well just use normal coal. Good to know. Good to know. Alrighty, so let's make some copper LV cables here. So first things first, let's make a set of this and then a set of normal cables. The reason I need these is actually because I need to make one extra cable for an LV battery, which requires 10 in redstone. So let's grab some redstone, and then I believe 10 will be outside here. So let's see here. But yeah, so I was looking at that, and I realized that the normal time for ore is like 10 seconds. Well, that was, you know, however many seconds this was, 15. So that's pretty interesting. Just a quick mention. Because I was sitting there, I was watching, and then my tiny coal wasn't, or the, the small coal wasn't working. And I was like, what in the world? And then I realized, oh, it's because this is a different time than everything else. Cheeky. That's what that is. Alright, so we'll grab that. We need an iron furnace. So let's grab 8 cobblestone. Alrighty. And then we will then do the iron furnace recipe. And then we will go for a basic generator. Then we will also go for the a machine block here. We'll get 24 fuses out of that crafting recipe, which is interesting. So let's see. So we'll need the machine block. And then we'll need a centrifuge, which is a tree tap. And the electric circuit. And we also probably need about 6 more rubber. So I'm just going to toss a full thing of charcoal on there. Just because we do need cables. I don't think these will actually connect and do the normal things. So we'll see. Alright, so let's go chuck this down here. And I believe we'll also need a wrench. I'm not 100% sure if these will just break and do what IC2 used to do. But we'll see. So we're going to set this here and set this here. I doubt that this will actually function like a... Oh, it will. Okay, so we don't need those cables. Okay, cool. So let's actually go pull that latex out for now then. I'm probably a little late on that draw, but that's fine. Okay. So we've saved 4 of that, which means that we'll have 12 rubber once we throw it through the centrifuge here. Okay. And there is like upgrade slots, I'm assuming. There's a secondary output slot and probably a place for a battery right there. But yeah, this will definitely improve our rubber production. So we can actually get just a little bit further in FTB Contraptions. I think next episode will probably look in getting some better tools with Tinkers. Oh, is this tree not work? Does this tree out of good stuff? Okay. It looks like we're out. Can I just like place it back down? No. Okay, so I guess the trees run out over a certain amount of time. Is there a way for me to like pick this stuff up? Let's go try something here. So I don't want to lose that fluid, but I'm not sure if it's actually fluid. If that makes any sense, right? So what I want to try... Okay, so yeah, that tank is full. What I want to try real quick is actually getting... Where are they at? So I have fluid pipes that I made a while ago to mess with Tinkers. And I want to grab 4 redstone. And I want to make what is called a tank from mechanism. That is the wrong recipe, but it's a basic fluid tank. And we'll see if we can actually take this fluid from these. If we can't, worst case scenario. If we can, awesome. I don't really mind if we can't, because it just takes time, right? That's the biggest thing. Alrighty. Moment of truth. Here we come. And then that one over there is probably stopped as well. Okay, so can we... Okay, no. Alright, we'll just get rid of them. Oh, actually, they kept it. They kept their stuff. So I'm curious. Is it log specific? Or is it tree specific? Okay, bottom log. Okay, so it needs to be... So maybe this log? Okay, why is it that log specifically? Okay. So if I put this back down, and I put a bucket back down, this should stop working. Okay, so I guess I can just take this tree out, maybe? Let's see if there's any F3 data. Not that I'm seeing. Okay. So let's just cut this tree down and move on. So I guess automating this would probably not be the best idea if they just die out like that. So I think the best way to probably get rubber is if we were to harvest these trees, get the leaves from them, and then use the leaves that way to get centrifuge extraction. I think would probably be the best method. And we could actually go grab some of the leaves, because I do have them. Because I did pick some up, remember? So 51 rubber wood leaves. Let's go see if this works. Okay, so we have 12 in there. So if we toss these in here, we should get 1 per, I think, right? Oh no, we're getting latex. Which, I mean, doesn't bother me, because all we need to do is just get another centrifuge and somehow pipe that out. Right? So if we double centrifuge this, we should be able to. And it looks like it's a percentage. Which, I mean, is 100% fine, right? Like, I don't... And you would definitely still get a decent amount of latex from this, I'm assuming. Because, I mean, that's 51 leaves. I think would probably get, like, maybe 4 or 5 latex. 4 or 5 latex then transfers into 12 or, 15 rubber. Alrighty, anyway, let's look at some of this other stuff, right? So, what are we looking at here? So, the centrifuge is just kind of our way to start getting cables so we can route, power to other machines, right? So, I think our next step is probably getting a macerator so we can actually start grounding some of the proper materials we need to actually get, what do you call it? The advanced alloy stuff. So macerator. Okay. Let's press A on that. And let's get an electronic circuit, which will need, a little bit more cable action. A machine block. Remember, we can actually toss stuff in here. And we'll need a little bit of cobblestone, apparently. And some flint, which I believe is over here. And the electric circuit. Macerator. Okay. And we actually need a little bit more cable. So what we can do for that is probably just make another set of this. Okay. Because we'll be using it quite a bit anyway. Let's see. So we'll come over here to start placing some of this cable down. Alrighty. And we will place this stuff down like so. Place the macerator. Okay, so what we can put in here is stuff like iron ore. I'm actually kind of curious. Let's go grab some iron ore. Because what do we need for advanced alloy, right? So, like, what am I thinking? Advanced alloy, this stuff. So, we need this stuff for, what did I say? There's pumps, there's the quarry. That's what I was wanting, the quarry. Iridium alloy. EV battery box, MV solar panel. So we'll definitely have to look into solar panels. Iridium circuits, nuclear reactor, antimatter constructor, EV battery box, high voltage. Yeah, there's some good stuff we can actually get into with this. But let's see here. So let's go inside here for a second. So what do we need for this? We'll need iron, constantinium, and aluminum. Or iron, electrum, and aluminum. Okay. Or bronze. So there's quite a few recipes we could do with this. 100%. That's awesome. So what I was thinking is I have some... I had some, maybe. Maybe it's in here. I have some iron ore in here, which this should result in 2 per. Okay. I'm pretty sure we'll need a lot more than what I'm thinking. Let's see here. So again, we wanted to make a quarry, but we'll also need to power this quarry. That's the other thing. So I'm not 100% sure how we're going to power this, especially because I believe it is probably an advanced machine frame, right? We also need a compressor. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get this quarry. So I think this might be on the back burner for a minute here. Let's toss this ore in here. Let me clean out my inventory and I'll be right back with you guys. Alrighty, so here's one of the interesting things that the macerator can do, of course. So I showed you how it can crush ores. Well, that is true, especially for coal ore. So I don't need to break this stuff down. I don't know how many this will get me, but we'll throw this in here real quick and we can see. Oh, I guess I can't throw coal ore in the macerator. Alright, that needs to be a recipe. The macerator is kind of pointless if I can't just throw coal ore. I thought I could. It kind of makes sense. Alrighty. Well, do I need to jump to another tech mod? Probably. I really didn't want to jump to another tech mod to just crush coal, but I might have to. Because it was kind of be, interesting. I mean, I could always use the squeezer from this. Let's see here. But I'd also need to make like a dynamo to get energy. Let's see. So there's like plenty of dynamo. Actually, let's look at generator. Do we have anything specific generation wise? A lot of mechanism. I saw some sort of generator. That was like some blue thing. I'm not seeing it here. So we've got the thermal generator, or the dynamos here. Magmatic. Compression. The Starling, which I believe is like the coal generator, right? Yeah. Basically just smelts everything. But there was something. Where's a stone generator upgrade? Don't even know what that's used for. There was something in here that looked like a generator. Let me see if I can find it. You know what? I think for now, we will hold off on pulverizers. I think we'll hold off on thermals, whole generation system of power, because I want to go into FTB Contraptions purely. That was why I was hoping the coal ore would work. I thought it would because I saw a whole bunch of other ores working with it, but I was wrong. So I think the first thing we kind of want to do real quick before this episode ends is kind of look at some of the Tinker stuff. So I didn't really talk about the Tinker's Anvil when I made it because it was just kind of, I needed it for one thing. Didn't really want to talk about it, which was the 5 silky cloth with the actual pickaxe in the middle. And that's, what I got. But this actually opens up the door for a lot more tools. So these are called the broad tools, right? So you've got the cleaver, the excavator, the scythe, the broad axe, the hammer or sledgehammer, and the vein hammer. So what this means is we have access to a whole bunch of new tools that could really help us. I'm not 100% sure how the vein hammer works, but it would be useful to try it out, right? So there's some tools that I want to come in here and I do want to make. And I think we're going to start them off with iron for now. I think we're going to do a Tinker's sledgehammer first off, because this does a 3x3 mining. Well, it's 3x3x1. So it'll mine a 3x3 area, and you can just keep kind of mining like a normal pickaxe, right? So I want to kind of make this, but this requires what is called a large plate. Let's grab some cobblestone here. Requires a large plate. It also requires more patterns. Let's see here. Do I have any more patterns? I do not, but we can make some. Actually, I already knew we didn't have any more patterns. That's why I was making some. All right, anyway. We'll also need a tough handle. And I believe we'll need a hammerhead. And I think that is about it. The tool binding, I think, is the only thing that we don't need to bother with, right? So we'll go back here, look at the hammer. Yeah, so we just got the tough tool handle, the hammerhead, and 2 large plates. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab some gold out of here, which is 3 pieces, so we can go make some casts with these tool parts made of stone. Okay? So you can see that that's what we're doing. So I'm going to do that real quick, and I'll be right back with you. Alrighty, so I've got these 3 casts, and the biggest thing is what kind of materials would we want to use for this? Well, we have this book, which is called Materials in You, and it is kind of the Tinker's Guide, the very first one, okay? So here's our basic materials, okay? These are the bare minimum, right? Rock, wood, flint, bone, copper, leather, string, vine. Yeah, basically that's it. Okay, but there's a different variation of this book, several actually variations of this book. So if you look up Tinkers and then look up book, you can see that there's several different books. This last one is a combination of a few of them, I do believe. I'm not 100% sure. It might be changed by now. We have Fantastic Foundry, which of course focuses on the Tinker's Foundry. Tinker's Gadgetry, which is kind of Everything about the slime, I'm pretty sure. Mighty Smelting, which is all about the Tinker Smeltery. I think what we'll do is let's go grab a piece of gold and let's go check out this other book. Because it is a different recipe than I remember. So I'm kind of curious what's different about it, right? So let's go check this out. Because if it doesn't give us what we need, oh well, we'll go make what we need, which is probably the smelting one, right? So that'd probably be the best idea. And we'll just turn that on so whenever it comes out, we'll be good. There we go. Okay. So then, of course, we can grab this. Alrighty. So, it looks like the way this is going to work then. Yeah, here's all the information about the broad tools, by the way. All the things they do and all of that fancy jazz. And, of course, here's the thing talking about broad tools. A flint and brick. Huh. I don't even know what that is. And, more information about everything else. I'm pretty sure I need to get other books to actually be able to even use this book. So, let's get a few things here. Which is, I don't think I have any more grout, but I guess I can look at grabbing some. I might be able to pull off at least one piece of grout here, or one set of grout. So I don't have much gravel. Okay, and of course we'll grab a book. I'm hoping this is the way this works, is like you acquire these books and it'll upgrade this one. Okay, this is how this works. Awesome. So we'll just need all the books to actually progress. I'm fine with that. All right, so this is probably one brick worth of that. Actually, we got the grout, don't we? Might as well just go use that. Let's grab a book real quick. And then I think after getting this next book, we will wrap up this episode. Hold on. Let me grab another book real quick. Not a barrel, another book. Because I wanted to try something else as well. So this is how the Tinker's Encyclopedia works thing. And I like that. That's actually pretty nifty. It's different because the original one that they introduced was kind of odd because it was just a combination of all the books. Okay, so you do need this specific slime ball. That's what I was checking on. Okay. And then there's that book. All right, and we can actually throw the ingot cast in here and just turn that back on. So Mighty Smelting, we should have that now, which is the tier 3. I believe the Foundry one actually provides tier 4, maybe tier 5. I can't fully recall. But yeah, this is kind of where we're really needing, right? So we've got Amethyst Bronze. That's a new one. Okay. So we've got a whole bunch of different materials here. Dark Thread, Cobalt, Plated Slimewood, Electrum, Necrium, Envar, Constantin, Bronze, Steel, Rose Gold, Pig Iron, Nahulta, Amethyst Bronze, and Slime Steel. So we also, of course, have the tier 2 materials, which are Iron, Seared Stone, Bloodstone, Slimewood, White Stone, Silver, Lead, Osmium, Necrotic Bone, Scorched Stone, Chain, and Slimy Vine. So we've got definitely some interesting materials. And of course, you will see that Manulet is not in here because I believe we need to actually get Nether Grout to actually get this whole thing. Of course, I don't have Soul Soil, Soul Sand, Magma Creams, or even Gravel really at the moment. So yeah, that's something we definitely need to get into, and I think we'll do that in the next episode. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. I always enjoy making these, especially with new packs that have so much to be explored and new things to be explored, especially with Tinkers, because things have changed since the last time I played with this. So thank you guys so much for watching this episode. Stay awesome, and I hope to see you guys around. Bye-bye!